Hi guys, welcome to the video. In this one, I'm going to be reviving my 2000 Audi A4. Right. So for my previous videos, I've learnt a bit and I've decided to first check the car out before I started reviving it. So on this, I know that it needs all new springs and struts all round, which I've bought coilovers instead because that was the cheaper option. And then it also is going to need a couple of the anti-roll bar links at the front, which I've already checked out and bought some for. It needs 3 wheel bearings, one at the front, both at the rears. And it's also going to need a general service. It needs a brake reservoir. It's got an EGR valve that's failed. And there's probably something else that I've forgotten off the top of my head. But it's going to need all this doing because I need something to drive around in. Right, so I thought I'd start up this end with the EGR. There's a new one. Old one's going to come off, so I'll start getting that off and then. We have one very thickness of that one. It's rock solid. Look at how coated that is inside. That's incredible. Compare that to the new one. Look at that. Right, let's get this new one in. Right, there we go. One successfully fitted EGR. Oh wait, no, not successfully fitted yet. I haven't done the clamps. One successfully fitted EGR. Working, yeah, that took longer than I thought it would. So now that I've got the new EGR on, I'm just going to start doing service stuff on this and work my way back through the car. So I'm going to start the air filter. Air filter not too bad, but definitely needed replacing. Nice fresh one, old one. And get my grubby fingerprints all over it. Yeah, I might take that shield off actually. Yeah, that sounds like the symptom of a wheel bearing to me. Whirring noise. Yep. Air filter done. What's next? So, cabin filter. That is very wet. But that's what I get for leaving it outside without a cowl over it. Alright, so don't quite have a cabin filter that fits, so I'll get one later. Probably about time I fit a battery that fits, because this one is too tall. And also not even remotely bolted down. Come on. Come on. Be nice if you fit. Aha, yes. Probably shouldn't bash on a battery terminal, but yeah. Whoops. Hopefully, with the new battery, this should start. Looks a lot like a fuel filter to me. This isn't what I was expecting at all. So, after some careful investigative skills, I determined that this is indeed the fuel filter, as I previously thought. Big Allen bolt top fastening thing here. Is that actually a zip tie? I think that's actually a zip tie, yeah. I'll clean this off first. Be gone, dirt. Is this the correct size Big Allen key? Oh, I think it might be. That's giving it some flexibility. Aha! Yes. Yes, even better. Here we have one old Bosch fuel filter, full of fuel. Yep. So here we have new oil filter. No, not oil. Wow, it's diesel. Diesel filter filled with diesel. Let's put that down there. Yes. Great. Come on. Yes. Right, so now I've done the fuel filter, I best check that it still runs, so... Now I'm going to go for the oil filter. What's the oil like in it? It's oily, probably old. The hardest oil cover. Some moisture, but that's been sat a while. Righto, let's get it up in the air, change the oil. I've changed jacket to my oil change jacket because if you've seen any of my videos before, you're probably aware that every time a camera comes out and I try and change oil, that me is essentially the catch can for the oil. There we go. Open, tell me your secrets. Does this sump plug just go all the way through the sump? Come on. oil tight, yes. There we go. Good news is normally it's covered in oil and it won't rust. So with that done, let's get up to the top and change the oil filter. Right, so oil filter conveniently located here. Yeah. Ah! Quickly. I can just live in there. It's not really my problem. In. Time for you to come off, mister. Come on. This is an oil filter tool. There we go. Mr. PD115, how much oil do you take? What grade? 530, 3.8. Yep, that's about where I wanted it. So with all the engine service work done, it's probably about time for me to start work on the suspension brakes. I'm going to be replacing the shock and spring with coilover, and then also these brakes. I think the pads are okay, so I might just be sort of, you know, cleaning these discs up a bit, reusing the pads, and then hopefully that works. This side doesn't need a front wheel bearing, but the other side does need the wheel bearing. The one with the... No, this one's not the one with the play. So I'll get started on this side. I'll do the front first, I think both fronts, and then move on to both rears. Yes. Oh, I haven't been apart in a while. Okay. Nice. Yep. Nice stuff. There is one slide. Slides look reasonably nice and not corroded. That's good news. Right, so before I go any further, I'm going to try and free this brake nipple off, because I feel like that's going to be a problem because it looks very corroded. Looks like there's going to be new carpets on. That is pretty corroded. Yeah, that piston's pretty corroded as well, so I don't think I was going to save this anyway. Maybe you can quite make that out on camera. Brake carrier and disc. So now I'm going to start on fitting the coilover. I've got to take off big bottom bolt down here, this bolt here, pop these two wishbones out, and then I've got to go at the top. A couple of things I've got to pop out so I can get to the top bolts and then get the coilover on. Just going to clean up some of these threads a bit first. Before I remove these old ones, let's just check that coilovers are correct. So these look like the rear ones. The way these reuse the original top mount on there. These look right to me. So yeah, coilovers correct to me at a brief glance. So I'll start taking the one off that's on the car. That's definitely been in there a while. Yes, fun. Right, let's see if that's... Hey! Right, so now that I've got this liberated from its previous home, I'm gonna get this top mount taken off and get this all swapped over onto the coilovers. Hey. We should be doing this with a light. I'll just bring you in here and show you why it was so difficult. All we have is AC lines here, and that there, if it'll focus, is where the bolt is. So that's where the other one is. The other one, fairly accessible, you know, you can get into it. It's not the worst thing in the world to get at. Whereas that one, down there, and obviously I didn't want to damage the AC lines or anything because AC is one of the few functional things on this car. There's a coilover installed, 1 and a 4. The other side I had to do a wheel bearing as well. I'm waiting for brake calipers to arrive, so once they've arrived I'll be able to get onto the brakes themselves. But for now I'm just going to go around and fit all the suspension parts and carry on like that. I know a lot of people are probably going to say, "Man, you get the big red air gun you see in other videos," and the answer is, I can't find it. Don't know. My dad's ill this week. I can't find it. Somewhere. Maybe he's took it home with him. Right, so to get the bearing out of this hub, I've got to remove this entire assembly, which is going to involve these two top wishbones, the steering arm, this lower arm, and this suspension lower arm, and then this bolt out here, drive shaft out. The whole thing should hopefully then just come out, and I can remove this hub from here, press a new bearing in, refit. Yep, we're out. There we go. There we go.
So that's it for part 1 of this Audi revival. Part 2 will be out next week. The rest of the suspension and brakes and everything else is still to be done, so make sure you tune back in to watch that. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it so far, then please make sure to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss part 2, and I will see you guys in the next one.